Business is not just about building products and services. It's about building communities. It's about building people around you. It's about providing value to others. It's about understanding how we can actually betterment this world and leave this world a much better place than it was.
Your value increases when you add value to others.
Come on this journey and come on this ride with me, and let's talk some important things. I want to start off by talking about about how we need balance in our life. People actually need balance. A lot of times we see both extremes. People tend to look at extremes, whether it be the topics of AI, whether it be the topics of education, whether it be any rights issue, whatever it is. Everyone always tends to go to a particular extreme. If people are in a certain extreme on the left, then there are also equal number of people on the right. But then you, as viewers, we like all this drama and all these things that are happening around the world, and people are actually having arguments. To actually see that is sometimes engaging or fulfilling, or to see someone win and to see someone lose is nice, but that's only on the outset. What we really need to understand is we really need balance in our life. No matter what we're doing, no matter how we're going, no matter what work we're doing, we need to look at life on both perspectives. And if that happens, I think a lot of problems will be solved from how things work out and how things actually pan out, because we won't have, yes, everyone has a perspective. Yes, everyone has their own way of seeing things. Yes, everyone has their own way of doing things, and how they were grown up, how they were brought up, where they grew up matters, what culture they grew up matters. All these things matter, but at the same time, what's really important is to always see the positives and also the negatives, which we often miss. And likewise in the case of AI, because if you actually think about it, AI has come in. You have technology enthusiasts, and you have people who are really inclined to building something, talk about AI as if it's going to be revolutionary, it's going to change the world, it's going to completely remove a lot of things. It's going to remove people from workforces, it's going to replace teachers, it's going to be the next way of how people are going to interact with other people. That's not how it is. I see all these changes as a positive thing, and yes, it's definitely going to be a positive thing, because any technological advancement, any improvement is always a positive thing for anyone. Even for example, we get software updates on our mobile. Are we gonna sit and say, no, the software update was bad for my phone or was bad for me? A lot of times, a lot of the software updates come with security updates, security and privacy updates, and those are positive changes. Those are changes that we really need. So in the same way, AI has just come in, and so it's not been here for 10 years, 20 years, so you wouldn't really understand the implications of both extremes, because if you go to either extreme, you're going to be wrong. We've got to look at AI as a tool, and when we look at AI as a tool, we need to understand how is AI going to benefit from, how are we going to benefit from using AI, and what benefits are we going to take from it, and what could be the possible negatives. How does that open up doors, and what negative implication can it have on us, on children, on the world around us, and so on. It's a really sunny day. Let's check. Nice blue skies. So being back to my issue of needing balance in our life, I think a lot of times what we say and what we do have to kind of line up with each other, right? We can't all be for diversity and inclusivity, and then when we go into our workforce, when we're managers, when we're working with teams, look at micromanaging people and actually segregating teams based on how they work and how they are as people, and what sort of regions they come from and so on. So there are corporate laws and corporate policies are always there to bring about a foresight for a business or an organization. But a lot of times when you go down to the deep roots of how an organization works and how the managers operate and how the team operates, that's when you really understand, is whatever being said on the policies, is whatever being said on paper, is it being followed? So that's the same with a lot of things in our life, a lot of perspective in our life. It all depends on how we look at things and how we're going to actually act upon things. What we say and how we're going to say it also matters. But in terms of understanding the positivity a factor of bringing balance into our life is really important. I like to talk about balance, because I think so often we are in the fast pace, whether it be technology, whether it be anything to like our lives are moving so fast. And with all these advancements and these changes coming up so fast, what we tend to do is we get caught up in this spiral, and all we do is we just look at the world in our eyes, and that's completely normal. But if that were the case, when you're looking at things through your eyes, just keep it to yourself until you actually deep it. Don't start making judgments. Don't start making decisions based on your feeling on a particular day, because that reactive feeling, or that how you feel about a situation, can possibly change if what's actually going to happen also has a different way of folding out. So understand the holistic point of view, and understand what actually is happening, and then from there work on developing your skill sets, work on developing an idea to talk about it, or to speak to people about it. A lot of businesses and startups are coming out of this whole AI and this whole technological advancement years, and with all these startups and businesses coming, I think what we really need to understand is, no matter how fast technology moves, and no matter how advanced we are starting to get, or even if you think we're in an advanced day and age, I think it's really important to slow down the pace of real-time learning. Yes, we need to keep up with all the technologies. Yes, we need to keep up with the changes in technology, and as humans, we need to evolve, and we need to adapt, and we need to learn and keep improving. But at the same time, it's like a race against time. We're never going to catch up. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to catch up with time. So understand, every moment that you have and every moment that you're working on something, whether it be a startup or whether it be a small business or whatever it is, try to break things down into your own time, into your own way of doing things, and set a process. That's where it's really important to have a balance in place, where you can actually have a process, and you can focus yourself on making sure that you're following that process, rather than just having waking up, figuring out what to do. Don't take each day as it comes, focus really on the core value of understanding a process and setting a process because you know what you're doing. And then from there, and if you don't know what you're doing, learn what you're doing and learn how to actually build a plan out, build an understanding out of what you're going to do, what your goals are, what your passion is, and try to merge both. If you put a Venn diagram, what your passion and your goal, and what you want to do, all these things combine, and whatever that middle intersection point is, that's where you ideally want to be. You might not be there at every point in your life. You might be swaying to one or the other during certain points in your life, but that's okay, because balance can also be different at every point in your life. Balance can be a different thing and can mean a different thing, so that's completely fine. What I'm really trying to point out is, when all these startups and all these businesses, when working with them, the biggest flaw I see is what we actually set out to do and the end goal or the product or service that's coming out, they don't resonate. So you have a policy, you have values, and you have core principles that say that you're customer centric, you are this and that. But at the end of the day, when you actually look at how they operate on the daily, that's really not how they operate. And that's contradictory. A lot of times that's purely because the person building the website, the person actually working on marketing the business and marketing your products and services, are not aligned with your visions and goals. They're actually doing it for the sole purpose of gaining attention. Yes, attention is probably the biggest asset today, and you really need attention when you're working with any business. All right, coming back to my point. Yes, you need attention, and with that attention, that cannot be the sole purpose of measuring your success for your business. So that's where we go wrong, because we look so much for the attention, and we look so much for the virality, and with all these, with social media and everything coming up, all we focus really on is we focus our mind to see the number of followers, the number of likes, and the number of if there was a viral video. That's all we look for. What we really need to understand is that in itself has a process. To get there has a process. To build your presence online has a process. To build a brand has a process. So we really need to go back to the basics. And that's what I talk about when I say we really need balance. It means going back to basics and understanding the core principles of what's actually required to get those results. Results are not just going to come overnight, and results are not going to come over just working on, you wake up with a mindset to do something on a particular day. On the next day, you're not going to see results just because you worked on it the previous day. You might have to work 10 days. You might have to work 10 years. You might have to work 20 years or 100 years. You don't know. No, you might not reach your defined end goal by the time you finish, but I'm pretty sure you can set base and a foundation for that change to happen in the world. If that's your biggest impact that you're going to create, it's going to be something very, very long term. Set the foundation right, and once you set the foundation right, whether you're there or not there, that impact that you created in the world is going to definitely exist. That's how we need to look at business, because business is not just about building products and services. It's about building communities. It's about building people around you. It's about providing value to others. It's about understanding how we can actually betterment this world and leave this world a much better place than it was. As an entrepreneur, giving should come naturally to you. To the people around you, to your teams, to the communities, to everything that you do. your share, like, and it's not just money, or it's not just something that's physical that you need to give to people. Giving as in just giving knowledge, sharing knowledge, providing for them, providing for people around you, making things better for customers. It's all giving. All you're doing is putting other people's needs before your own. And that's really what entrepreneurship is. And the moment we start trying to look at business and look at entrepreneurship in that sort of way, the perspective that we look at things change. It's not just for the attention, or it's not just for the number of views you're going to see. It's not just for the product to be viral, and not just for the profits that we're going to get from that. Yes, they all are outcomes of a good product and a good service, and it's all outcomes and a result for doing something for a sustainable period of time and being successful at it. Yes, you're going to get those results. Yes, you're going to become a millionaire or a billionaire, or you're going to get funding, you're going to grow your company. That's all going to be there. It's the same example that I was trying to really focus on, which was people go into you go and see you see a startup's website, and they have all these things listed down, but you actually think about it and you speak to them. Oh, they used an AI content generator to actually create the content. And what happens then? Where is the genuine perspective of like what actually you're focusing yourself to do? Where is that coming across in the website? We really cannot be doing things just for the sake of getting a viral website, or getting people onto this train of, oh look, I'm doing this, I'm doing such a great and noble thing. Come follow me, come follow the business and support us. That's why a lot of these startups fail, because in the initial we're taking so many shortcuts to find to get things done, and then we don't really look at the value that it's providing to people and communities around us. Because to be really honest with all of you, any idea to help and to provide support and service to people is a good idea, and I'm sure everyone's first idea that they start with is never that final thing that they're actually working on. It changes, things change, things keep pivoting, and when you pivot, you keep getting better and better and add your skills and traits that you're really able to nail down something that people really, really, really need. That's how we need to view it, and so is the same case with AI technology right now. And me being in the ed tech space, I feel like there's so many misconceptions that AI is going to take over everything and it's going to replace how we learn and so on. Yes, it's going to change. It's going to change a lot of things. It's going to change how our perspective on things, how we're going to look at things. But at the same time, it's really going to open up doors. Let's backtrack a little bit. People didn't start cheating in exams or in schools or in universities after AI's intervention or after AI came into picture. Whether you were doing it with paper and a pen, or writing it on your inside of your palm, or whether you're carrying bits and pieces, whether you were carrying your phone, people cheat. That's their integrity issue. That's their own problems that they've got to deal with. People were cheating way before AI and even phones and whatever, all these technologies came in. So what we really need to understand is the way people when they talk about the extreme side of point of view, when they talk about AI is a bad influence on kids and so on. Yes, it could have potential bad implications. Personally, I feel like AI is open, like AI and AI tools and so on, with all these coming in and studying people, it opens up a can of worms. Like privacy and security becomes an issue. That's something that I'm really trying to nail down and work on and solve. But at the same time, when we think about people cheating, this has been going on for years. I went to when I did my MBA. I'm sure I saw people cheat. When I speak to my sister who's doing medicine, any exam that she goes into, there are always people who cheat. So, quite honestly, people are going to cheat regardless, whether you give them tech or not. They're going to cheat regardless, and that's an integrity issue, and that's an issue with their view on what they're doing. But that's their life. Cheating is only going to take you so far in life. Taking shortcuts is only going to take you so far in life. So that's something that we need to instill in and educate. It's okay to not know something, but what's not okay is to fake it till you make it. That's something that has to be normalized. No, we cannot fake it till we make it, because that only takes us so far in our life. That's something that people really need to understand, and that's where the whole balance thing comes back into perspective. Because when you look at AI, for example, AI is here to stay, and AI definitely is going to revolutionize all the things that we're going to do, because of the way it's actually helping us, the way our phones are adapting to it, the way our workforce is going to adapt to it. It's going to simplify a lot of things. But if you are so focused on being on the side where you're against AI, then obviously you're going to become obsolete, right? Now, on the other hand, if you're going to adapt and you're going to use AI as a tool, you're going to come out on top, because you're going to be so ahead of the curve, because you know what you're doing, you understand the benefits, and you understand what AI is actually doing, that you're going to utilize AI to one-up your game. So to put it in simple terms, a person without AI will be here, a person with AI will be here. So that's really how you got to look at it. Your job market, for example, you see a lot of people going on, building their websites and building their portfolios, building their CVs purely with whatever AI says. And again, it's okay to a certain point to take a framework from it, or to take an idea from it, but to completely copy paste whatever AI gives you, it comes back to again, it's an integrity issue. Are you going to be able to do well in an interview? Are you going to be able to hit the points? Because you're deceiving someone on what exactly is happening. And is that only because AI came in? No, because people were doing that, and people were hyping themselves up with things that they didn't even know, even before AI came into existence. So all these things happen. That's a people issue. That's not an AI issue. It's not a tech issue. It's not an advancement issue. It's really an issue where we need to look into ourselves and understand and have self-awareness of, are we doing the right thing, and then take things forward. And more than anything, I feel what's really important is the implementation of AI has to be in really done in such a way that people can actually understand what's happening. Right? Being in the education space, looking at schools, for example, the usage of smart boards. There are a lot of schools and universities that are using smart boards, but around 60 to 70% of schools and universities that actually have implemented smart boards and all these digital devices don't actually use it on the daily. They're so frustrated with it being a cumbersome technology, it being hard to use, hard to learn, that they want to forget that it's even there, and they go back to basics. So that's where we really need to nail things down. And that's where I think AI is going to be much easier, because AI is going to be so much easier to learn because you're really engaging with AI as if it were another human being. So that complexity is kind of solved with AI, but at the same time, we need to implement it in such a way within schools or within any workforce in such a way that it's usable and it's simplifying certain things for the users. And that's really how we can see the real impact that it can create on human life. All right, so just to sum things up, I think we need more balance and we need to go back to basics. Both these things are so fundamental in making us a better human being.